Our world is full of bright, tempting, and easy-to-grab foods. This is the allure of processed foods. Processed foods dominate our diets. They're everywhere, from breakfast cereals to instant noodles. But few of us truly understand the hidden costs of convenience. Shop shelves are stacked high with colorful packets, promising quick meals and tasty snacks. Processed foods gained popularity in the mid-20th century as a response to industrialization and the need for convenience. But over time, they've transformed into something far from their original intent. Processed foods have crept into every part of our lives. It's not just chips and sodas. It's also canned soups, frozen meals, and even some seemingly healthy snacks. From sugary cereals to frozen dinners, they are a regular part of our routines. But behind this convenience lies a hidden danger. These foods, often stripped of their natural goodness, are worse for our health. While we enjoy the instant satisfaction, our bodies tell a different story. Many believe processed foods are safe, as long as they're labeled low-fat or sugar-free, but the truth might shock you. Ultra-processed foods are creating a silent health crisis. New research shows how processed foods damage our health. This video explores the latest scientific discoveries. Get ready to be shocked and ready to make a change. The truth about processed foods is worrying, but knowledge gives us power. Make healthy choices for ourselves and our families. Let's unveil the hidden dangers. Eating mostly processed foods has far-reaching consequences, affecting almost every part of our bodies. The most obvious effect is often weight gain. These foods are designed to be super tasty, making us want to eat more than we need. Calories add up quickly, leading to obesity, which can cause a whole host of health problems. But the damage goes much deeper. Our hearts and blood vessels suffer from our unhealthy food choices. Ultra-processed foods full of saturated and trans fats make plaque build up in our arteries. This gradual process, called atherosclerosis, increases the risk of heart attacks, strokes, and other heart problems. Our metabolic health is also at risk. The flood of refined carbohydrates and added sugars in many processed foods messes with our blood sugar levels. Over time, this can lead to insulin resistance, which can then lead to type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes used to be a disease that mostly affected adults, but now it's increasingly common in younger people, showing just how widespread processed foods are in our diets. Even more worrying is the growing link between processed foods and some types of cancer. Processed meats, in particular, are being investigated for their possible role in bowel cancer. While more research is needed, the evidence suggests that eating less of these processed meats is a wise step towards preventing cancer. Do you know how additives can wreak havoc in our health? We know a lot about the physical effects of eating processed foods, but we're only just beginning to understand how they affect our brains. New research suggests a worrying link between these foods and mental health problems, including anxiety, depression, and even problems with thinking and memory. The culprits? A mix of artificial ingredients called food additives, designed to make food taste better, last longer, and ultimately make more money for companies. These additives, which are often unfamiliar to our bodies, can disrupt the delicate balance of chemicals in our brains. One worry is how some food additives affect neurotransmitters, the chemical messengers that allow our brain cells to talk to each other. Problems with these pathways can show up in different ways, from mood swings and trouble concentrating to more serious conditions like ADHD and depression. Also, some additives seem to cause inflammation, not just in our guts but also in our brains. This constant, low-level inflammation, called neuroinflammation, is increasingly seen as a major cause of brain diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. While scientists are still figuring out exactly how this works, the evidence suggests that reducing our exposure to these potentially harmful additives is vital for protecting our brains. There are ingredients that can disrupt the gut-brain harmony. Emulsifiers, as the name suggests, are used to mix ingredients that don't normally mix, like oil and water. They create a smooth, pleasant texture in lots of processed foods, but their effect on our health is far from good. Recent research has found a worrying link between emulsifiers and problems with the gut microbiome, the trillions of bacteria that live in our digestive system. These tiny organisms play a vital role in our overall health, affecting everything from digestion and nutrient absorption to our immune system and even our brain function. The gut and the brain are constantly talking to each other, a complex relationship called the gut-brain axis. Problems with the gut microbiome, often caused by things we eat like emulsifiers, can have wide-ranging effects, including a higher risk of inflammatory bowel disease, metabolic disorders, and even neurological conditions. Studies have shown that some emulsifiers can encourage the growth of bad bacteria in the gut, while also reducing the number of good bacteria. This imbalance, called dysbiosis, can cause inflammation and damage the gut lining, letting toxins leak into the bloodstream. These toxins can then travel to the brain, causing inflammation and possibly contributing to brain diseases. Next, artificial sweeteners, often advertised as guilt-free alternatives to sugar, are everywhere in processed foods and drinks. They offer the sweetness without the calories, but this seemingly harmless swap comes at a cost. Growing evidence suggests that these artificial sweeteners might be contributing to various health problems, including metabolic issues and even neurological problems. Aspartame, one of the most common artificial sweeteners, has been linked to headaches, mood swings, and even seizures in some people. While scientists are still investigating exactly how this happens, some studies suggest that aspartame might interfere with how neurotransmitters work, which could explain its effects on the brain. Also, even though they don't have calories, artificial sweeteners might actually contribute to weight gain and metabolic disorders. These sweeteners, often hundreds of times sweeter than sugar, can disrupt our natural feelings of hunger and make us crave more sweet foods. This can make it harder to lose weight and even contribute to insulin resistance, increasing the risk of type 2 diabetes. Have you heard of the silent saboteurs? Preservatives and excitotoxins, the hidden troublemakers. Preservatives, as you might guess, are added to processed foods to make them last longer and stop them from going bad. While this might seem harmless, some preservatives are being investigated for their potential negative effects on our health, especially brain function. Nitrates and nitrites, often used to preserve processed meats, are a key example. When we eat too much of these compounds, they can form nitrosamines in the body, which are known to cause cancer. Also, some studies suggest that nitrates and nitrites might interfere with how our thyroid glands work, potentially contributing to metabolic disorders. Another group of chemicals to watch out for are excitotoxins, which overstimulate nerve cells. Monosodium glutamate, or MSG, a common flavor enhancer in many processed foods, is probably the best-known excitotoxin. While MSG is generally considered safe in moderate amounts, some people are sensitive to it, experiencing headaches, nausea, and even heart palpitations. Studies on animals have linked eating too many excitotoxins like MSG to brain diseases, raising concerns about their long-term effects on human health. What, or rather, who is engineering the cravings and addiction in us? Processed foods are appealing for more than just their convenience and advertising. These foods are carefully designed to be irresistible, triggering our reward centers and taking control of our brain chemistry. Food manufacturers have become experts at combining ingredients to create the perfect mix of salt, sugar, and fat, a trio that makes our taste buds go wild. This carefully balanced blend of ingredients, often called the bliss point, triggers the release of dopamine, a chemical messenger in the brain associated with pleasure and reward. This rush of dopamine makes us want to eat more, creating a cycle of craving and eating that can be hard to break. Food manufacturers also use clever marketing tactics to target our weaknesses. Children, especially, are bombarded with adverts for sugary cereals, sweets, and fast food, creating strong links between these foods and happiness, fun, and fitting in. These early experiences can shape lifelong eating habits, contributing to a cycle of unhealthy food choices. We need to break free, take back our health and our plate. The good news is that we're not helpless against processed foods. By learning about the hidden dangers and using simple but effective strategies, we can escape the grip of these addictive substances and regain our health. The first step is awareness. By understanding the hidden dangers in processed foods, we can make better choices about what we eat. Reading food labels becomes essential, allowing us to spot and avoid harmful additives like artificial sweeteners, preservatives, and excitotoxins. Next, we can focus on whole, unprocessed foods. Fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, nuts, and seeds should be the main part of our diets. These nutrient-rich foods give our bodies the vitamins, minerals, fiber, and antioxidants they need to thrive, without the harmful additives found in many processed options. Cooking at home more often gives us control over what goes into our food. Experimenting with herbs, spices, and healthy fats lets us create tasty and satisfying meals without relying on processed shortcuts. Who should champion a future of food integrity fighting for better food? The fight against the processed food problem isn't just a personal one, it's something we need to do together. We get it. Processed foods save time. They're affordable and accessible. But what's the real cost? Chronic diseases, mental fatigue, and hidden health risks. Isn't your well-being worth the extra effort? We must demand honesty from food manufacturers, urging them to put our health before profits. It's crucial to support policies that promote clear food labeling, restrict misleading advertising, and encourage access to affordable, healthy food. Educating future generations about healthy eating is vital. By teaching children about the dangers of processed foods and helping them make healthier choices, we can break the cycle of addiction and create a brighter, healthier future for everyone. The time to act is now. Let's take back our health, our food system, and our future by rejecting the unhealthy temptations of processed foods and embracing a world of wholesome, nutritious, and tasty, real food. If this video resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear this. I'd also love to hear about your views by dropping a comment below. Let's take good care of our body and have a healthier us. Together, we can create a food system and prioritizes our well-being, ensures a healthier tomorrow for generations to come. Have a great day. See you on my next video.